Hi, and welcome to Back to School Nights. My name is Jason Kelsey, and I am one of the freshman biology teachers here at MATES. If you ever need to get in contact with me at all during the semester, you can call directly to the school and use my extension for 4027, or just email me at the email below. That's probably your best bet for getting a hold of me. A little bit about me. I hold a Master's of Environmental Science from Stockton University, and my undergraduate was through Rowan. This is my 15th year now teaching and my 13th year here at MATES. So it's been a long time here, and I'm just really fortunate because this is a great school to be a part of, and I get to do what I really enjoy. I've had 11 years of outdoor education experience as a program director with New Jersey Fish and Wildlife at the Sedge Island Conservation Center. Other classes that I teach besides freshman biology are GIS, which is a senior elective for computer mapping. I'm also one of the teachers for the research methods course and aquatic ecology. And along with those traditional type classes, I'm also one of the research advisors for the independent projects. So how class will operate this year, we're actually back in the classroom, we're fully in person, and I'm very happy about that. We'll still use Google Classroom because it's just a great place to put all the assignments and lectures and all that stuff in one central location. So I provide all the students with my PowerPoint lectures, so that way they have access to them at any time and for their own notes. But I do this really so they pay attention to the lecture. They focus on the examples that I give and the extra details that come up during lecture. I don't really see the point in them writing down the things that I've already written for them. So, they can have those lecture slides and they can type right on them too for their own notes in class. That's totally fine. All assignments are posted on Classroom with the due dates, the explanations, everything there. And any other notifications too that might pop up. So if we have a spontaneous field day, as soon as I know, it'll go up on Classroom, so that way your kids have a heads up. As far as grades go, I grade by the point system. So I don't use any category weights or anything like that. It's not necessarily like quizzes are weighted more than homework or anything like that. It's just points earned over points possible. So the larger the point, or the larger the assignment, the larger the point value for that assignment. So I try to update that once a week or so, depending on how frequently we have new assignments and quizzes and things like that. Quizzes, I try to get a 24-hour turnaround, so that way my students have them back to look at and review. They're all paper format, again, no more online quizzes. And, provided that everyone is present. If a student is absent, then they have that time to, however time they were out, they have that amount of time to make up the quiz, unless they schedule it with me ahead of time. I don't like to return quizzes or tests until all my students actually have taken them. So if everyone is present on a quiz day or a test day, we'll usually get that stuff back within the day or within the next day. Classes predominantly are lecture-based, but we do a lot of activities and demos and things like that throughout the semester. There will be some dissections throughout the semester too, depending on which type of critter we're talking about. Quizzes, I use mostly small point value quizzes, and then that'll be like maybe weekly or so. And then more infrequently are the larger point value tests, with the exception of the species exam, which will be later in the fall. Students are already kind of given a heads up about that. It'll be well after their species cards are turned in and then graded and then given back, so they have those to study from. At the end of the semester, there will be a cumulative final exam. So everything that we cover from the first day of school up until the end will be on the final exam. So the students are well aware of all material that might come up on the final exam. I really do try to stress so that they either know what is coming, and then also to, you know, if they might have been absent or missed something in their notes, I'll give reviews so that way they know, like, oh, I missed this. I need to fill that gap. We're back in the field again, which I'm very happy about. So there'll be weekly field visits to pretty much anywhere that we can go within a normal block period. And while the weather is warm, we'll be out in the water pretty much as often as we can. And then as the semester progresses and it gets cooler, we'll be doing a lot more labs, and then so dissection-based labs, microscopes, things like that. And just a general list of the topics that we'll talk about through the semester. You know, we're going to look at a lot of species diversity, which is, you know, in the form of taxonomy, ranging from the most simplistic of the critters to the most complex. But we really look at that in terms of local ecology. So what of those organisms are represented in Barnegat Bay and the Mid-Atlantic Ocean, that sort of thing. So I really like to have the students learn about what's in their backyard. And then kind of tying all of that together are themes of evolutionary theory and the evidences that support that. We'll also spend time in class developing their freshman research project. So they'll be getting graded on that throughout the semester, piecemeal. So instead of having one large grade for their FRP, at each stage of the game, they're going to submit something and they'll get a grade on that. So cumulatively, there'll be one large, you know, it'll be a grade for biology. And then their final poster and presentation will be graded in the spring semester. So that'll actually be a chemistry test grade. So they are getting graded in their both bio class and their chemistry class. And like I said, we'll be in field weekly. Typically our field day is Thursday this year. So just have them, you know, check the weather before we go out. I try to do my best to give a forecast so they kind of know what to expect. But, you know, things change overnight too. Other big things, we're wrapping up the Sedge Island field visits. So by the time you're viewing this, your students have already gone to Sedge. It's a great time. It's a great way to kind of prime them for a lot of the things that we'll talk about through the semester, and then just as a bonding experience too. And then the other larger field visit that'll be an all-day trip will be to Jenkinson's Aquarium, and that'll probably be in December. So that'll be during the normal school day as well. So that won't be after school or anything like that. But that about wraps it up. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me either through phone or email, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you, and have a good night.